Hey, everybody, it's me, Jonathan Millard, the voice of the Vale, with another Big Hype podcast brought to you in association with our great friends at Bravos Boxing Gloves. So protect yourself at all times whilst wearing Bravos. Combat Ticks, platform for promotions and ticket sales, and our preferred charity of choice, Boxers in Need. But joining me on the way from his house in Sheffield.
Yeah, Sheffield.
I want to say Sheffield. I hope I'm right.
Sheffield.
See, he didn't say anything there. I was like, the one and only Kitman to Hitman, Adam Geelan.
Geelan.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm all good. Yourself?
See, I knew I was going to get something wrong. I'm going to...
it's all right.
It's D at the end. I don't know why I wanted to put a Geeland.
I've had it all my life. Don't worry
Geelan.
About it. Don't worry.
So,
don't worry.
See, this is why it's important to have these conversations. Look, as announcers.
Yeah, it's very rare that people get it right first time. Anyway, don't worry about it.
Good. Well, next time I announce you, I will announce you correctly. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So, Adam, I'll ask you the same question I've asked everyone else who's come on the podcast, which is, how and why did you get involved in boxing?
I guess it's kind of the old tale of growing up, kind of when I was 11, 12 years old, got bullied at school, wanted to get into something to be able to defend myself, took to boxing to use fitness alongside the other sports I was doing at the time, and just really took to it, really enjoyed it, really took to the combat style, the aggression, being able to kind of get that anger management at the time out. I'd always been involved in martial arts and everything from a really young age, so I was always into it. And then from there, when I started doing it properly and more religiously, I just thought, this is it, this is for me. So, and then ever since then, kind of, I've had a couple of breaks out of it, but just took to it like fire after that. So, yeah, and then from then on, now right at the pinnacle of where I want to be at the moment, and hopefully keep pushing on from there.
Let's take you back to those amateur days then. Do you remember your first time in an amateur gym?
Yeah, so my very first gym that I ever went to was Clinton Woods' gym near my house, that I was just getting into to start off with for fitness, and learning how to box, learning the techniques. And then from there, at the time, Clinton wasn't doing any amateur kind of shows or having boxers, so I went to another gym at the time where a couple of my friends were boxing, called Laces Boxing Gym in Sheffield, and I was their first amateur fighter. I had a couple of years there, boxed in the Haringey Cup, was doing quite well, and then moved to Aspire Boxing Gym in Sheffield, where I spent the rest of my amateur career, really. Had a couple of breaks out with having a little boy with COVID. But then from there, made the decision to go pro after that with Steve, Bailey and Ryan. So, yeah, really did enjoy the amateur days. Did enjoy it. The fights were a bit more intense, a bit more hell for leather. So, yeah, completely different to the pro.
I know it's not really that important, and yeah, I know it's not much of a, but I've asked this question to most of them. Do you remember how many amateur fights you had?
I had 13, just because of the kind of breaks that I took out of it. I was boxing for 10 years, but I took 2 years out and then 3 years out with COVID and having my little boy. So I should have had a lot more. But yeah, I kind of remember more or less every fight, that I ever have.
So what was the prompt then to get you to turn pro with Ryan Rose? Ryan Rose. Why am I saying it? I'm laughing. Not Ryan Reynolds. Yeah. That's a different guy. Ryan Rose.
It's not Deadpool, no.
He might be. Who knows? He's a great British boxer, so he's a British champion. So
my head coach, Steve Bailey. He's always been a really close friend of mine. I worked with him at Sheffield United years ago, and I'd always said to him, if I was ever going to go professional, I wanted to go with yourself. I wanted him to train me. And at the time, he'd been with Ryan years and was down at his gym, Southpaw, in Sheffield. So from there, it was kind of the route to go with signing with Ryan, and from there, I've enjoyed the last couple of years with both of them. Learned a hell of a lot and really progressed in my career, and really looking forward to what comes. So just from having Ryan's experience behind and Steve's experience as well, like he's been in boxing a long time, and Ryan with the credentials he's got, I just knew that the opportunities that I was going to get and the experience I could learn from was second to none.
Yeah. So you've had what, five professional fights with four 0 and 1 draw in the professional game. Do you remember the debut? Do you remember your very first fight? Do you remember how that all came together? Because I've looked through your socials, and it's kind of like you say about one door closing and another one opening. So tell us about that. What was happening at that time that you made that post?
Yeah, at the time, last year, when I made my debut, it was a difficult time at the time for myself because I'd just lost one of my close friends, uh, George Baldock, and at the time, it was nice to then have that progression, to be able to have something to look forward to. And I always wear GB2, which was his number when he played for Sheffield United, on my shorts. And as unfortunately that door closed in the cell in his where I was, it was nice to then have that goal to be able to look forward to and have something that I could make everybody proud of in my career, my little boy. And then I did that with winning and putting on the performance that I did against a very tough opponent in Jordan Grammon at the time. So yeah, it was really nice to have that opportunity to then be able to go and have kind of some nice, good memories at the time.
Yeah, Jordan Granham is a good, yeah. Jordan Granham, boxing fans will know that name. A very well seasoned veteran of the scene, of the small hall scene, given a lot of debuts, debutants, boxers opportunities to step in with him and teach you a few things. He is a tough cookie, and you took it all three out of 4 rounds. Is that right? Do you remember that debut?
Yeah, I won the first 3. Obviously, that lack of experience in the pro game, I kind of came all guns blazing them first 3 rounds with that kind of amateur experience of going all out, and I kind of tired in the 4th round, which Jordan took at the time. But yeah, very experienced. I think he's had close to 200 fights now. Very tough, very knows the game, knows the tricks of the trade, and made it really difficult for me, which was really good for myself as a learning curve in that first fight, to know, right, this is it now. I've arrived on the pro game. These are the things that I need to learn from, experience with, and be able to take those into future fights. So it was a really good opponent to have.
And
first one.
Where was you? Do you remember where it was, the first one? I've got you down in
the
Magna
first
Centre.
one was at Magna Centre, in Sheffield, where I've had 4 out of 5 of my fights, and the next fight that I'm having on March the 28th, that'll be there as well at Magna. So great event, great venue.
Down to face off against Ivan Trofomovic. Any thoughts on him so far?
Yeah, I've watched a couple of clips from when he fought against Corey Sagar, who's one of kind of my stable mates as well in the same with Ryan alongside Ryan's promotion. Uh, Looks like a come forward fighter, and I'm hoping to make kind of a bit of a statement in this one. Hopefully, go out there, try and put on a better performance than I have done in my previous fights, keep improving. So hopefully, it'd be nice to have somebody come forward, have kind of be able to stand there and land my shots, pick my shots off. So because in other fights, I had to be kind of on the back foot, make things happen, which isn't really my style. I like to go in there and really stand there and have it out with people, but also pick and choose moments and have the confidence to be able to know that I can do both in boxing and in just have and be able to have a fight when needs be.
What's the what do you find the? You say you like to go forward. That's your style, I guess, from what you described there. You'd rather be on the back foot and take a fight to them. Is this a normal sort of thing for you? Is this have you been working on something different then in this capacity, or because again you came off the back of a win? You're coming off the back of a win, but that was off the rematch against Joe Hardy.
Yeah, so against Joe, I thought I'd done enough in the first fight, and I think everybody that was kind of present there at the time thought I'd done the same. Tough, really tough opponent, Joe. I did enough in the second fight to
Sorry, Adam, I don't quite know.
So Joe, I wanted to make sure that I did enough to not leave it up to be subjected. Uh, it was a convincing win in each round. So I made sure that I did that. But yeah, as far as a come forward fighter goes, I think from my amateur days, I thought I was a little bit heavier at amateur. So everybody that I fought was
Okay.
always substantially taller than me. So I really had to work on my head movement. So that's always been a big thing for me, kind of slipping and rolling, being able to come on the inside. Uh, so when I got into the pro game and those first few fights where I was kind of having to make things happen to box, uh, that was new for me. So it was nice to be able to experience that and be able to know that I've got that in the locker as well. But from my point of view, yeah, I've always been someone that kind of likes to be on the front foot, be on someone's chest. A lot of head movement, a lot of kind of inside work. So, because I've never, like I say, everybody that I've fought has always been taller than me. So, I've never really had to be the one to be on the back foot with range. I've always had to try and work myself inside. So yeah, so
How does it feel different to the professional game to the amateur game?
yeah, definitely. In terms of in the amateur game, I think from the as soon as the bell rings, you kind of hell for leather 3 rounds, like it's toe to toe on top of each other. Whereas in the pro game, and I think it really suited my style a lot more. Like I am a come forward fighter, like to be aggressive on the front foot. In the terms of the pros and the longer rounds, the more rounds, it just gave me time to be able to think and be able to pick my shots more, think more about what I'm doing in the ring, have more of a game plan. Whereas at amateur, you kind of fitness plays a big part of it. Obviously, technically, you still need to be good to get to a certain level, but sometimes technique does kind of go out of the window when you're just there having hell for leather for either 2 or 3 minute rounds in short bursts. Whereas in the pro game, at least you've got time to be able to think about your shots. And having the opportunity to fight Jordan in my first fight was really good experience for me to fight somebody as tough as him in my debut.
He is a tough cookie, in fairness.
Yeah, definitely such a tough cookie, and it gave me that experience of what the pro game was going to be like. Was able to pick my shots, was able to take my time, and he gave me a tough. He definitely gave me a tough fight. He didn't.
Good.
He didn't just kind of stand there and let me have it all my own way, which is what I wanted as well. I needed to learn the ins and
Need
outs
somebody to
of
give
it.
you a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, you need to take the good with the bad as well. So I definitely learnt that from fight.
We moved on then to the next incumbent, which is Sam Kirk, and then you went through Sam Kirk, you went to Josh Cook, and then we went up against Joe Hardy in fight number 4. Didn't quite go the way you probably thought it was. It came out as a draw.
Yeah, so I thought, especially in that fight, it was my best performance that I put on, the most relaxed I felt in the ring, kind of with having the 3 previous fights. I was kind of getting into the swing of things, and the first 2 rounds especially I thought was probably the best I'd boxed, and my corner said the same, and felt really comfortable in there. Third round again, thought I was boxing similar to how I'd done in the first 2 rounds, and then the 4th round I felt as though Joe kind of knew he was behind at that time and came out and really put it on me in that last round, and I kind of probably knew that I didn't take that last round, but I thought I'd done more than enough in the first 3, and kind of everybody in there, including probably their corner themselves, thought I'd done more than enough to take the victory. Unfortunately, on the day, the only person that mattered was the scoring referee, and he gave it as a draw.
Yeah.
But you need to take those kind of little adversities to be able to come back roaring, and I did that in the rematch against him a couple of months later. Really needed to make sure that I was consistent throughout all 4 rounds, that made sure that I'd done enough to take the victory on the day.
A little bit less than 3 months between the 2 fights, from September to December. Yeah, so I mean, did that teach you anything that you actually thought, like you say, you felt quite relaxed going into that for the first time? Was that sort of a wake up call for you?
Yeah, it was definitely a wake up in terms of not to get complacent, despite how well you think you're doing in a certain fight, to make sure that you don't take your foot off the gas, to keep consistent throughout all the rounds, and that gave me that ability to make sure that I was aware of that. So leading into the rematch, and for any kind of future fights, potential fights, moving forward, that I know that I need to be 100% in every round. That I can't really allow myself to take my foot off the gas, despite how well that I think I'm doing in a fight, because at the end of the day, if you leave it to the judges' scorecard, you're susceptible to them. So just making sure that I'm doing enough in each round to win the round.
Your style. I mean, obviously, as you said, you're a bit more of a picker up of sort of picking off. You've got quite a long range on you.
Yeah, so I like to come forward. I can box on the back foot if needs be, but I do kind of like to be on the front foot, making things happen. If I need to stand toe to toe with someone, then I'm more than happy to do that. I don't mind taking a shot if needs be. Obviously, ideally don't, but definitely that style of more a fighter than a boxer, but still having the ability to box when needs be, is definitely probably how I'd describe myself.
Yeah. But it sounds like it sounds like you enjoyed that last fight and getting retribution, obviously, and coming back and getting the win. Still undefeated at this stage. It's still four wins and 1 draw. That's still undefeated because no one's beating you yet. So, but we've got something lined up in the pipework for March now. With another double R26 or R26, whatever you want to say it, Ryan Rose show up in the Magnus Centre in Rotherham. They've already named your opponent as well. Do you know? Have you looked at this guy, Ivan?
Yeah, I've looked at a couple of fights that I could find on YouTube, and I know that he fought against kind of one of my stablemate in terms of with the same promotion, Corey Sagar. So I'm hopefully putting on a good performance again in this
in this fight, but really coming again, having a good go, putting on a performance that people can look and go, all right, he's arrived, kind of thing. So just wanting to do, not just do enough. I want to make sure that I put on a performance that gets the win guaranteed. So, and hopefully even be able to get my first stoppage if the opportunity presents itself.
Well, I mean, it's certainly, you're going to be looking for that opportunity. You've got to look for those opposite spaces. You say, you went up against, he went up against Corey Sager, we've had on the podcast, and also another podcast as well, Killian Mills, in your call. On a Goodwin show. So again, quite well experienced, and again, he's going to be a bit of a challenge, I think, for you. So it's good that you're taking control of that one. You've said you watched a few of the videos. You think you're setting yourself up for success at the moment. Still, hopefully this will be 5-0 and 1. What's the plan for you during the next 24 months, 12 months? Let's look at the next 2 or 3 years. Where do we see Adam being? Where do we see Adam going?
Hopefully, over the next course of 12 to 18 months, kind of again progress up the rankings, take each fight as it comes, but just keep ticking victories off as I can. Hopefully, in the not so distant future, try and maybe fight for a central area title, and then wherever the opportunities present themselves after that, take it from there, whether that be English title, British title. Hopefully not really putting a ceiling on myself at the moment, but if an opportunity presents itself, being able to take it with both hands, being able to put myself in a position to get those opportunities by keeping moving forward with victories. So that's hopefully where I'm progressing towards.
So the central area is definitely well on the tick list that you want to get done. Trying to follow in Ryan Rose's steps, get the Lonsdale beautiful belt. Is that where you'd like to get to?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's I'd like to say a realistic target over the course of my career. Obviously, like I say again, not putting a ceiling on anything if the opportunities present themselves, but that is somewhere that as a realistic target for myself, that if I can get to there, then I can kind of say that's the goal that I set myself, and then anything there on out is kind of a bonus. So yeah, it'd definitely be good
if opportunities
present themselves. Yeah, definitely, I'd snap anybody's hand off, but I've got to be able to keep performing and put myself in the position to be able to earn those opportunities.
And opportunities always come at normally the most inconvenient time, unfortunately, for me anyway, particularly. There's always opportunities. Would you take the journey, because you've been kind of a bit of a home fighter at the moment? You've stayed pretty close to home in Sheffield, Rotherham, around those sorts of areas up there. So it's not. Would you, if there was a call and said you have an opportunity to fight in America, opportunity to fight in Saudi on one of those cards, would opportunity for a belt as well, would you go on the road and try and do that journey as well? You've not really done that before. Is that something you've considered?
Yeah, it's definitely something I've considered. Again, I'd be open to the chance to be able to do that. It's something that ultimately I'd love to do as well. I'd love to be able to travel and be able to fight in different venues, different sceneries. It's something that I'd relish, and if given the chance to be able to do that, I'd definitely be more than open to doing it, and being able to learn from those experiences as well in doing that, because sometimes when you do go...
No, it's true. You're right. Not everything goes to plan sometimes when you're on the road, particularly when you're not in your natural environment, shall we say. So yeah, I get that. But you've got a really interesting nickname, which is Kitman to Hitman. How did you get that? What's the backstory of
that? So I'm kit manager, one of the kit managers down at Sheffield United, and I've been doing that for 11 years now. And kind of at one of my amateur shows that some of the players first came to, Dean Henderson, who's a close friend of mine at the time, started singing a song, where it used to be a kit man, now he is a hitman. And I always said to myself, if I was to ever turn professional, that would kind of be my nickname. And when that did, I thought, yeah, this is it. This is where we go from here, nickname wise. And I think because it is so unique, it's kind of a talking point as well. But yeah,
well, that's why I had to bring it up, because it is such a unique one. I mean, as a ring announcer, you get quite a lot of sometimes very similar nicknames, and you think, oh, okay, but that one's a really interesting one. I think that's really interested, again, to sort of that sort of thing. Do they still come and watch you? Do the team still come and support you, or are they
definitely
followers of your career as well?
Yeah, definitely, especially when the opportunity allows them to be able to come. If fixtures don't clash with when I'm fighting, a lot of boys always make themselves available to be able to come for most of my professional fights, for a lot of my amateur fights as well. They all come. Hopefully a lot of them are coming to this one, with us not having a game on the same day. Really makes it ideal situation. Great. But even boys that I've worked with in the past, that I've kept in close contact with, they've come and supported me, and I really appreciate that. And the people that I've worked with in football over the last decade, I've really created a close bond to them, and I couldn't speak highly of all the staff and all the players that I've worked with, and again, the support that they come and give me is second to none, and I really appreciate that.
That's great. I mean, you've been at pitch side, I guess, for quite a lot of games, as well as being involved in the back office side of it as well, and the kit side of it. You've probably seen a lot of Premier top quality players come through the club as well against them in this side. Anyone stand out? Any particular moment stand out for you as a moment you remember from one of your favourite parts of being part of the Kitsman team?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say I've been lucky to experience a lot of success with working at Sheffield United. I've been involved in 3 promotions myself. 3 promotions, and those experiences, those highs, like, you can't really comprehend them at the time, and I'm so lucky to have been involved in them. But also, I've managed to experience Wembley, working at Wembley,
really?
Setting foot on the pitch at Wembley during the warm-up. That was such an opportunity that I'm very grateful to be able to have been part of. One for the FA Cup semi-final, and then unfortunately towards the end of last season in the playoffs. And yeah, there's definitely been some really high moments that I've been lucky to experience, and the grounds that I've been to, the opportunities that I've had in being involved in the game are second to none, really, and I'm really lucky and grateful for that.
So I did say at the beginning of the podcast that you kind of didn't follow Dad's footsteps, but at some steps you kind of did as well, being at Sheffield United like your dad, but having your own career and your own path for that one. Adam, thank you so much for coming on the Big Hype Podcast. We do have a closing tradition, which is the final round. So Adam Geelan, are you ready for your final round?
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay, seconds out. Southpaw or orthodox?
Orthodox.
Body shots or head shots?
Oh, good body shot.
Train alone or with a partner?
I prefer to train alone, yeah.
Early bird or night owl?
Oh, night owl. Not a big fan of early mornings.
Heavy bag or speed bag?
Heavy bag.
Okay. Underdog or favourite?
Like to be an underdog. Like the challenge.
Okay. Boxing gym or outdoors amongst the trees?
Oh, outdoors amongst the trees. Love nature. Love being a part of it.
Short and powerful punches. Long or technical punches?
Short and powerful punches.
Okay. Fight dirty or fight clean?
Fight clean.
Okay. Loud crowd or quiet atmosphere?
A loud crowd. Yeah, definitely a loud crowd.
Quick knockout or strategic win?
I like a strategic win. Yeah, I'd go strategic win.
Okay. A hypothetical question, because who knows, this fight will probably never get signed. But AJ versus Fury, who wins?
I think Fury. I've always had my heart with Fury if that fight were to ever take place.
Maybe. We've got a lovely little tally growing up here of who's on who's what side. I think ultimately who wins, the fans will win. It doesn't matter whether they win or lose in the ring, I think, but that's my opinion on it. Anyway, Adam, how do people get in contact? How do they follow your journey? Where can they get tickets for March 28th in the Magnus Centre in Rotherham?
Yeah, so if anybody's wanting to get a ticket to my fight, on Instagram at AJ Geelan, follow me, direct message me on there for any sponsorship opportunities, or anybody's wanting to purchase any tickets, just direct message me on there and we can sort something out from there.
Good stuff. Anyone else you want to say thank you to, sponsors or anything like that?
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you to everybody that's helped me on the journey so far, in particular the sponsors that have sponsored me throughout most fights. So JIC Refractory Products, Clad Installation, JIC Lettings, Fan Cave Memorabilia, DBG Group, and everybody else that has come to watch me and support me along this journey. I really appreciate that.
Fantastic. Adam, thank you so much for coming on the Big Hype podcast. I think we finally got there. We've got an episode in the bank. I'll be editing it and putting it out for you as quickly as we possibly can, and hopefully people enjoyed learning a little bit more about you before your fight. But thank you so much for coming on the Big Hype podcast tonight.
Yeah, no, thank you for the opportunity.
No worries, take care.
Take it easy, mate. Thank you.
This has been a Big Hype production, edited and produced by Jonathan Millard, assisted by Riverside FM and distributed by Buzzsprout, available on all good podcast platforms. For more information, visit www.bighypepodcast.co.uk.